In this video, we will be training a dog how to honor or back another dog's point. In this case, we'll be using one of our older dogs as the pointing dog and another dog that has never been trained in backing. That's Ace, that's 3 years old, and she has never been trained in backing at all. The object here is to have the pointing dog essentially hidden away while on point so that the dog you're training comes up and sees the pointing dog and is encouraged to stop. I use the whoa command. Another option is not to say anything, but just stop the dog. Either way would work depending on how you would like to do it. In this case, what I'm hoping for is that the dog will associate the pointing dog as a whoa command. The real trick is trying to find a good spot where the dog doesn't see from the dog you are training doesn't see the dog on point from a long ways away. You want them to be relatively close when they spot the dog on point. In this training, if you don't have a dog that will reliably hold a point available to you, you can either buy or make, depending on your own artistic availability or someone else that you know's artistic ability. Then you can make a silhouette, a life-size silhouette of a dog on point, and use that instead of a live dog doing your pointing. You just set it up in the same manner. You walk out with the dog and to where it doesn't see it. You can actually, through different companies, Lion Country Supply being one, purchase a remote controlled pointing dog. It's on a pedestal that's spring loaded that lays it down, and as you're coming out, you can have it laying down. When your dog looks away, you can pop that silhouette to stand up, and then the dog is surprised, sees it, and you can get it to stop. With those systems, they also use the same controller that controls your bird launchers. Usually, I will not run this many pigeons, this many series at any one given time. Generally, 3-4 pigeons maybe at a time, and then we'll stop. But then I'm usually training a dog much younger than this one as well, and then do it over a period of 3 or 4 days. I've found some dogs will honor or back naturally. Others, such as Alpine, will only, she took 4 birds, and from that point on, she was backing very reliably. So you just have to know what the dog's going to need, and just don't overdo it. For this would have been coming very close to overdoing it for us. You may not notice, but Ember is getting a little bored with the pigeons. She's flagging as she is doing right here. She's just not quite that intense. So normally I would have quit a couple times before this. You may have noticed that there's an obvious camera change. When we start out with this particular one that's a little bit lighter in the colors, that's the first shot of one of the sessions, and then when it switches the camera, that is the same session from a different angle with a different camera. So you actually get two views of each time we run the dogs. This is our last session with Ace, and it's a little hard to tell, but she actually stopped on her own. I had nothing to do with the stop. It's a little easier from this angle to spot that, but as we're coming down and we make the turn, and she sees her mother Ember, and she stops on her own, and we figured that would be a good time to stop and put her away for the day. The next one you'll see is Alpine, Ace's sister, and she was trained to fully back and honor before she was a year old. And you see she's running without the check cord, and she knows this part of the game very well. Thanks for watching. I hope this provided you with some useful information. There's nothing better than having one dog on point and anywhere from 1 to 4 more backing. It's a beautiful sight.